Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 99 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. 99 not out, baby! It's wild, isn't it, really, that we've got this far? I thought you would have annoyed me much more by now, if I'm perfectly honest, and I've gone, I'm not doing this anymore.
Ditto.
Firstly, just want to apologise slightly. Last week, we seemed to have a couple of sound issues where I don't think it was too detrimental to the episode, but the sound cut out in a couple of places. Usually when I was talking, so you would probably say not detrimental at all. But I
think it was every time that you were talking.
It was weird, but I did a lot of talking. So we're not 100% sure why. There's some sort of connection issue with the microphones. I can't guarantee it's not going to happen again because I'm not sure I fixed it. But let's just go with it and see how we get on, shall we? Yeah, we'll go with that. Look, on this week's show, we're going to have a look at a couple of transfer rumours. We're going to have a look at episode 5 of Welcome to Wrexham. We're going to have a look at the rumoured point system for tickets for next season. You're cocking your nose up already. We'll get your opinion shortly. And we're going to have another look at one of our opposition for next season. And of course, go at the quiz.
Yay!
Come on, 99 episodes in. You must be. Yeah, I think you have good weeks and bad weeks, don't you?
Probably more bad than good, to be fair.
Yeah, but, we'll give you what you want this week, I think. So,
Ooh. Interesting.
Oh, exciting. Look, we mention it every week. If you do want to support the show is completely free. But if you do want to support the show, we do have a Buy Me a Coffee account. That is buymeacoffee.com/me the wife. A huge thank you to Jason Ivester this week, who supported the show. So that's brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that one. Okay. So, news.
So we were number 2 in Denmark.
It's so random sometimes. When you say these things out loud.
Yeah.
So the Apple podcast charts for football in Denmark.
We're number 2.
We were number 2 last week. Last week we were number 2. It's just a bit random, isn't it, really?
Cool though, isn't it?
It's really cool. Yeah. Really cool. I know we do quite well in Norway.
Yep.
From time to time. That I know there's the Norwegian Reds, and I know a few of them listen, so hello to you. But Denmark, I'm not sure. I always try and keep track of where we do well. I'm not sure Denmark's somewhere that we've done well before.
Obviously we are.
We're doing well.
Obviously we are.
This last week we've done well.
Yes.
So thank you to everyone in Denmark for making us number 2. We've been number 2, I think, in 6 different countries in the Apple podcast charts.
Except
for
the UK.
Except for the UK. It wasn't the point I was driving towards. It was more the point we haven't been number 1 in any country. Always the bridesmaid.
Never the bride.
Never the bride, unfortunately. So I think we need to do some sort of campaign to where we'll
get Me, the Wife, and Wrexham AFC to number 1 in the Apple podcast charts.
For football.
Or
Somewhere.
sport.
Anywhere in the world. Maybe we'll get like a big group of people together from a certain country.
Yeah.
And then we'll just get them all listening on the same day. And then maybe.
No, because that's not organic then, is it? We like organic listens.
We do.
Don't buy our listens, buy our followers. We don't do any of that. It's all organic.
Yeah.
You either like us or you don't.
But all I'm saying is if in Denmark, maybe on Wednesday, if you all want to listen to the podcast at once, maybe we can get to number 1.
Why Wednesday?
I just picked a random day. So that they can all listen on the same day.
It comes out on a Monday.
No, it's a daily podcast chart.
Oh, yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, so if we all get them on Wednesday, so if you're in Denmark and you are listening, Just listen again on Wednesday and let's see what we can do.
Or catch a flight to Denmark and just listen to us while you're there.
Yeah, on Wednesday.
Anyway, we've gone on about this a bit too much. The next thing we need to talk about is Aaron Hayden.
Yeah.
He has signed again for Carlisle United.
Good move for him, I think.
Good move for him, but a lot of there's a few Carlisle fans which are a bit, we're going backwards instead of forwards, but you are so lucky to have Aaron Hayden. So,
I think
not that any Carlisle fans will be listening to this probably.
Yeah, I know.
But you are very lucky.
Yeah, I think it's what I looked at all the comments. Carlisle United obviously posted
Carlisle
United, and obviously I'm just moving on. They posted that he'd re-signed for the club. And I looked through the comments, and generally, I would say most people were happy that he was back.
Yeah.
But there was a specific sort of edge to what they were saying. As long as he stays fit, we've got a great player back. Oh, if we can keep him on the pitch, I think it's a great signing. And then there was Wrexham fans going, if you can keep him fit, you've got a great player. So it was very much sort of surrounding.
I will be devastated
if
he remains fit. For every single game, it would be a massive kick in the teeth for Wrexham if he remains fit.
It would. I think it would hurt a little bit.
It would hurt a little bit.
Knowing that you've had to let him go because of his injury issues.
Yeah.
To then have him stay perfectly fit all season, banging in goals from corners left, right and centre, you'd sort of sit there going, Aaron, what are you doing to us here? Because I like we said before, I'd have kept him all day long if he was fit.
At least we don't have to play Carlisle next season.
There is that.
They've gone down to League Two, haven't they?
They have,
so,
yes.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
Yeah, it is.
But next, if we're still in League One season after next...
Or we get relegated.
No.
I'm joking.
I'm
joking.
No, Ryan.
I'm just giving all the permutations out
there. There you go. There's the word of the day.
Permutations.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
Is
that even a word? Have I said that right? Is it permutations or permutations?
I have no idea, but let's go with permutations because it sounds nice.
Yeah.
Permutation sounds a bit like you can't say the word properly.
Okay.
Anyway, next.
Move on.
Congratulations
to Paul Mullin this week for winning PFA Fans Player of the Year award for League Two.
He was awarded it last week, but...
Last week, sorry, I get a bit confused, with weeks. You know me, I don't do dates, days, weeks.
I mean, you do. You're counting down. You're telling us every day how many days we've got left in work until we go on holiday.
That is true.
But that's the only thing that you know.
Yes, that is pretty much the only thing I know. I don't think this was a huge shock, to be honest.
No.
Lots of just angry abuse for this tweet. I think we saw. Are you kidding? What? Why is he winning it? Obviously not from Wrexham fans.
I was going to say, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's not a huge shock. We've probably got the biggest fan base in League Two.
So
had the biggest fan base in League Two. Because we're not there anymore.
We're not there anymore.
So when it's a fan voted award, I don't think it's a huge shock that a Wrexham player wins it, if I'm perfectly honest. Not saying that he doesn't deserve it.
He does deserve
I am
it.
just saying it's not a huge shock for a Wrexham player to win an award that is voted for by fans when we've got thousands of fans that attend the games, and we've also got thousands of fans all around the world. So
I voted for him, only for the pure fact Andy Cannon wasn't in it.
Yeah.
If Andy Cannon had been in it, I would have voted for him. But Paul, congratulations. It is well deserved. You are a smashing footballer. and we do love you. So
you're a smashing little
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't come out right.
No, let's move on. Just a quick one. Memberships are now on sale as well. So you need to get out there. If you are a member, international, local, regional, I don't know. International.
If you're a Red Dragon or an international Red Dragon, memberships are now open.
Glad you're here.
I had to sort my mum's out for her, and it was an absolute rigmarole.
Was there?
Yes, because you've obviously got your login details for just the Wrexham site, haven't you? And then you've got a different login for the e-ticketing where you get your membership.
Yeah.
So my mum couldn't remember her password. So we were in separate houses. And I had to keep telling her, can you forward me the email that you've had from Wrexham Football Club to reset your password? And then by the time she sent it over, it had basically lapsed.
Yeah.
So I had to do it again. It was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
So, but we've sorted now. My mum and dad have renewed their membership, so they're very happy.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever bought a ticket using it because I don't think they've ever been able to. But
well, at
hopefully,
least they've got a membership.
yeah, hopefully with a new stand they'll have a little bit more of a chance, I think.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We haven't
Temporary stand even.
We haven't talked about my shirt choice this week, have we? I've gone for the National League title winning shirt this week.
Yep.
A little bit more up to date.
Yep.
I think a lot of people who sort of watch the podcast didn't really recognise some of the shirts I'd wore, so I brought it a little bit more up to date. We've gone for the 22-23 season shirt. I really like this shirt, and it fits really well as well, which I can't.
You've lost a stone.
Because I know I can't. You can't really say that for many Macron shirts, but it's a nice fit. So I've gone for this one this week. I think we'll go a little bit more back in time next week for the 100th episode. We'll pull out a special one, I think, for the 100th episode next week. We're excited for that, aren't we? As well?
We've got something planned. I've literally, before we started recording, I've got something. We said, right, let's do this, and we're planning it. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, Siân's got lots of plans, haven't you?
I do have lots. I've got lots of DIY plans.
Oh God.
Anyway.
So we had some visitors over this week. So we have Sarah, who Sarah's from Washington State. And she came over, she stayed in Conway, she visited Wrexham, she wanted to meet up with us. She brought her husband Kevin, who we met as well.
Yeah, he tagged along, didn't he?
He tagged along.
Bless him.
Met him at the turf. We had a little drink, and she brought some gifts for us.
I'm wearing one of them.
Siân is wearing one of the t-shirts now. Do you want to pull up the little bag of goodies that Sarah brought for us? So what have we got? In the bag, we had some more t-shirts, which are really nice. Just
so you know, Sarah, Alfie, our little lad, has tried on every single one of these, and he's undecided which one he wants.
Yeah, he is at the moment.
But he's not having this one because this is mine.
Yeah, that one's Siân. So we've got some t-shirts.
I like this one.
Oh, we've got something that Siân bought shopping. We've got a mug as well. Where's the mug?
We have got a mug. You're going to have to excuse me for a moment because it is wrapped up.
Quite noisy. Some great t-shirts.
So we've got this mug, and it's got like hiking boots on and stuff, and it's got Washington on it. We do have some magnets, but Alfie's half-inch those.
No, he's put them on the fridge.
Has he put them on the fridge?
He has put them on the fridge. We've got a cap as well. Where's the cap?
The cap?
Bulldogs cap. Go Zags. Go Zags.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I might be cheering for an absolute other team there, but
basically, Sarah and Kev's
Kev, like you've known him for years.
Kevin, their son graduated from the school that relates to this. I can't remember what the school is.
No, but I'm sure they're the Zags.
Anyway,
I'm sure it's the Zags, and I'm sure it's like, can I make something up and make it sound like is it Gonzaga?
Oh, Gonzaga, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, and that's why it's Go Zags.
Right.
Maybe.
Memo to ourselves. Yeah. Do your facts check in.
Do some research before?
Yeah, do some research.
No. Loved it.
They had a Wrexham lager while they were there, while in Rome, they said. Or while in Wrexham. And they taught us quite a bit about Washington, and I was a bit like, whoa. Like, Kevin was born in Alaska, so he's from Alaska.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming Sarah's from Washington because she didn't say
she wasn't. No, but that's where they live. But they taught us about some wildlife, and they were telling us about like mountain lions and bears, and they'd reintroduced wolves.
They were like higher up than them, but they're starting to migrate back down to where they are, and it's like
sounds terrifying.
But
to be
the
honest.
nicest thing that she said was that they have deer. Deer. What's it? Or stags? They are deers, aren't they? Oh my God. Deer in their back gardens, and and another thing they said, I don't know if anybody else used to watch this, and I'm really probably showing my age.
I know what you're going to say.
Bigfoot and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
So apparently Bigfoot is like mega in Washington.
Yeah. Was it Bigfoot and the Hendersons, or was
Yeah.
it Harry and the Hendersons?
No, Bigfoot and the Hendersons.
Was there?
Yeah,
Was he called Harry?
possibly.
I thought it was Harry and the Hendersons. We digress again. Let's move on.
Anyway, Bigfoot and the Hendersons. So, yeah, Bigfoot is like mega over there. And I think one of the T-shirts actually has...
It did. I don't think I got that one out, if I'm honest, and I put it down.
Get it
now.
out. Go on, I'm telling the story.
Go on, tell the story.
Yeah, so apparently that, you know, like I said, Bigfoot is like mega over there. And Sarah was saying that quite a lot of people have statues of Bigfoot in their gardens, like 6 foot massive massive statues of Bigfoot. So yeah, Sarah, actually, please send us some pictures of those statues. I'd love to see them.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them. Yep. So then we finished our drink. We had a good chat.
Had some photos. She actually told us as well, because my American geography is okay. I knew where in sort of the US Washington State was, but I'm not my sort of Canadian geography isn't great, and I didn't realise how close they were to Vancouver. And they basically said that they were going to the Vancouver Whitecaps game, which
and they're very excited.
Very excited about that. I think they're going to plan to come over back to the UK again, try and catch a Wrexham game in the flesh.
Yeah, we didn't get as much time as we wanted with them. So next time they're over, we're gonna maybe go out for dinner or something with them. Definitely.
But talking about the Whitecaps game, we had an email in as well from Drew. So we've met Drew. Drew came over months ago. I think it was the Farnborough FA Cup game Drew came over for, and we met him in the turf anyway. So Drew emailed us saying, my daughter texted me about the Wrexham visit to Vancouver. I'm ready to buy my 8-ticket limit when they go on sale. My wife is in, my daughter lives in Victoria and is psyched to go, as is her boyfriend. My son in Vancouver is in with his girlfriend. My son in Edmonton has committed to fly in for the game. Still waiting to hear from one son, but expecting a positive response. All this came together in less than an hour. Wrexham uniting families around the world.
I mean, you've got family in Vancouver, so it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it?
It would be very rude not to.
So yeah, we're really excited for you all to be watching these games live. And as we mentioned to Sarah, you will get to probably see the new home and away kit.
Not probably, I'd say
you will.
Definitely.
So I'm not sure whether you'll see them before us.
No,
we would have ordered ours and
yeah. So we'll keep you updated about the new kit. We haven't really had anything sort of come out of the club as yet.
Nothing's been coming out of the club. It's been a bit hush with everything.
It has, but you've got to understand that people sort of drift away from the club a little bit at this time. You know, the players are on holiday. You know, there's not as much going on, so you know they have to have a bit of calm at some point. You know, because the whole transfer stuff will kick in very soon. Which we'll talk about in a minute.
So you've put here, we're going to talk about the point system. Now, I have a few issues with this.
Okay, let me just...
You explain,
let me introduce.
And then I will give my issue.
So, there's been some... what's the word? Not unrest, but certain fans have voiced concerns about not being able to get tickets for certain games, and a lot of clubs around the UK do a points-based system. Now, you get the points for, which is quite similar to what we're going to discuss here, and then based on your points level, it gives you sort of priority over certain away ticket purchases. That's the general gist of it. And like if there's FA Cup games, you might get first refusal on tickets, all that sort of stuff. So we were sort of half expecting this to happen, I think, weren't we? But so nothing's been confirmed, and it is just slightly rumoured, but we're from what we've heard, we're pretty sure it's going to happen. The most points that you get will be for season tickets and season ticket renewals. After that, it's sort of memberships and membership renewals. And then you get points for home games and points for away games as well.
And it's actually going back to which season?
I think it was the 22-23 season is the plan to go back to. I'm not 100% sure about that either, but we'll have to wait and see about that one. Now, let's throw over to you first, because you've clearly got an issue that you've tried to get out twice already. Yeah. So what's your problem? What's your beef, love?
My beef is I get that you can't get tickets, but...
Oh, there's fists coming out now.
But what my beef is the fact that there are some home... people... We've tried to get away tickets a lot, and we've been unsuccessful. Yeah. We were lucky to get a couple, but my problem is with it, if it's a Tuesday game, for example, and it's in, I don't know, say
a land far, far away.
For next season, Charlton, for example.
Oh, hopefully not, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, hopefully not. So Tuesday night, obviously we've got a 12-year-old son who goes to school. Yeah. You've worked shifts, and for some unknown reason, Tuesday games always seem to fall on your afternoon shift.
It depends, but yeah, go on.
So if you're working until 10 o'clock at night, then that rules us out. Not because we don't want to go, it's because obviously
we're unable
to go. And there's going to be loads of people in that same situation who've got kids, who've got jobs, who've got whatever. You could take holidays, but what I'm saying is the point system is you've got people that are, this is going to sound really bad, but people that are younger, who maybe go to college, maybe go to university, maybe has a part-time job, who don't have the same commitments as a lot of other people do. So they will find it easier to go down to Charlton on a Tuesday evening. And I think the point system, yes, it works for big clubs like the Premier League clubs and things, and I'm sure League One and that do it as well. But I just think it's kind of taking the choice away from people who may not necessarily be able to go to every single away game. That is my beef, I stick by it because.
Okay, let me just explain something then. I understand your point. I understand. I think some of the concerns surrounding a point-based system is that you could end up in a situation where the same people are going to the away games all the time. Yeah. That potentially could happen. I'm not sure that's necessarily the case in this sort of points-based system. I've looked at the points that have been proposed. The most points are for renewing your season ticket. Okay, so let me give you an example. And this should answer your question, but it should also raise a slightly different concern. So
great.
Let's have an example. Somebody buys a season ticket.
Which we do.
No, don't interrupt, because this you'll just confuse the matter. Somebody buys a season ticket, okay? Yeah, slap. Somebody buys a season ticket, not because they want to go to every game, just because they want to pick and choose what games they go to, and they've got the money. You know, they're quite well off. They can go and buy a season ticket, renew it every year, and maybe only go to 2 games. Okay?
Yep.
Because they just want to guarantee they've got a ticket for when they want to go. Okay?
Yep.
I'm not saying there are fans out there like that. But let's just say, okay? So they buy a season ticket.
Yep.
They go to 2 home games in a whole season, no away games, yeah? And their seat sits empty for the rest of the games. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, that's person 1. Person 2 is a member.
Yep.
Okay? They managed to get tickets for 12 home games and 6 away. So 12, the reason I picked 12, that's roughly half of the home games.
Yeah.
And then it's a bit more difficult to get away, but they managed to get tickets for 6 away games, okay? They fight tooth and nail. They've got their membership. They fight tooth and nail week in, week out to get tickets. They go to every game if they could. They get half of the home games. They get quarter of the away games. They would end up in this scenario with less points than the season ticket holder who goes to 2 games.
That's not fair either.
So,
Yeah.
so what you were talking about going, yeah, I think you were coming from the fact of you were a little bit worried about us and how.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was being very. I was being selfish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know you were because I know you. No, but so that should alleviate any fears that you have because we've got a season ticket, big wedge of points. We go to every home game, another big wedge of points. We go to a few away games, another big load of points. It's really hard for a member to overtake us in the point stake based on them sort of numbers that we're putting up. On the flip side of that, the scenario I've just given you, that does seem really unfair, doesn't it? You know, but so if that person who only goes to 2, let's say they live in London, right, and they've bought a season ticket because they come home at Christmas and they want to go to 2 games over the Christmas period while they're at home because they can afford to do that and they want to guarantee a ticket. Yeah. If they decided they want to go to an away game, they might be right up there compared to a member who fights tooth and nail every week to be getting tickets.
Yeah, but those sort of people who have got a season ticket and, like you said, maybe live in London, they do have the choice.
Well, just to put this right, I've created this fictional person.
No, I know, but you know, it can happen. But the person who has a season ticket and doesn't necessarily go to every single game has the option to put their ticket on the ticket exchange, and it has actually said that even if they sell their ticket to Joe Bloggs down the road, the person who has the physical season ticket will still get the points.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So there's no reason why that person who has a season ticket and doesn't go to every single game, they can't sell it sell it to somebody else so they can then have their seat. They're not going to get the points. And do you know what?
I thought they would get the points.
No, I find that might be something like that might be made up. I didn't make it up. I have read that. But maybe if this point system does come in, that person will then go, actually, I need to start hedging my bets and maybe putting my ticket on the ticket exchange or giving it to a family member or something.
Yeah, I know.
Because I think, sorry, I haven't finished.
Okay, I'll let you carry on.
I think it's usually you that's having a rant.
I know.
So, but I think I'm assuming that when you scan your season ticket through the door, that's obviously how they know, because you could have a season ticket and they say, oh, well, I've been to every single home game, but they'll be able to see whether you've been to every single home game because you've scanned your ticket.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a little bit flawed for me at this moment in time.
I think it is flawed, but I think I perhaps think it's flawed in a different way to you, because I don't see how the point system is necessarily changing very much, in the sense of all it's doing, because I think season ticket holders are always going to end up with more points than members.
And they always get priority on away tickets anyway.
Yeah, so I can't see how that's going to change very much. People are going, oh yeah, I'm glad of this. I think based on what I've seen, I think it's going to be very hard for a member to overtake a season ticket holder in the point system anyway. You know, just given that little scenario that I've put out there, I think it's going to be really difficult for a member to get past the season ticket holder.
Unless they're really lucky and they get every single home game, every single away game.
Yeah, which probably isn't going to happen. But, you know, what it will do, it will help segregate the season ticket holders, perhaps, where the people who do go to more games, which is where your point comes in, that maybe as a season ticket holder, you can't necessarily get to every away game all the time. You can't rack up the same amount of points that other people do. So, you know, what it will serve to do is segregate the season ticket holders a little bit, I think, where you might have a tier 1 season ticket holder who's been to every away game, has racked up this amount of points, and like a tier 2 season ticket holder, which is where people like me and you will probably fall, who, you know, we could probably only get to 5, 6, 7 away games a season because of family or because of work or whatever it might be, so we're in that position where, as you rightly say, somebody who's younger, who has no commitments, who potentially hasn't got a job or hasn't got kids, or whatever it might be, can do that a little bit more. So yeah, I think all it's going to serve to do, once you delve a little bit deeper into it, is it's just going to segregate that top section up a little bit.
Yeah.
Give them more consistent fans the first opportunity to go out and buy tickets, and then the second tier of that top section will get the second chance, and then it'll go out to members.
But we are consistent.
Yeah, I know.
I think we should move on, because this is annoying me.
Look, nothing has been announced as yet. It is still rumoured and still slightly speculation, but based on what we've been told, it is happening. So, we'll just have to wait and see on that one.
Transfer rumours.
Yes.
Let's move swiftly on to transfer rumours before I blow up like a bottle of pop.
Look, we've got two rumours this week. These are actual rumours, not ones that I've made up like I did last week. So if we think back to January transfer deadline day, you may remember the name Jamie Lindsay.
No.
Okay, so we were looking at signing Jamie Lindsay from Rotherham United. It was rumoured to be a club record fee if the deal went through.
Oh.
He only had 6 months left on his contract, and it was also rumoured that personal terms had been agreed with the player as well. Now, at the last minute, that we couldn't get the deal over the line. I think, again, rumours were that even though he only had 6 months left on his contract, Rotherham was still asking quite a high price for him. When usually players who only have 6 months left, you don't usually ask that high a fee, because in 6 months they can just walk away from the club for free. So, it's usually trying to get something. Maybe that's our reputation a little bit. Maybe that's our owners a little bit. People thinking we've got bottomless pockets. Who knows? For whatever reason, that deal fell through and we didn't get him. He has now left Rotherham. His contract's come to an end. So that means he would be available for free. By free, in case anyone's confused by that, I mean there would be no transfer fee. The reason for that is Jamie Lindsay now doesn't have a club.
He wouldn't play for free.
He wouldn't play for free is the point I'm trying to get to. He would be, there'd be no payment because he's left Rotherham now, and he's currently, as a football player, he's sitting in limbo with no club. So I think he's been a long-term target. He's 28. He's a sort of a CDM by trade, so a central defensive midfielder. Sort of sits in the same sort of position that, to describe it, like George Evans sort of does, in that sort of sitting back, looking at the game. He can play anywhere in the central midfield, though. He can be a central midfielder, so he could replace Andy Cannon, for example, in that middle, James Jones sort of position. He can sit in that middle. Ultimately, is what I'm trying to say. There's a few sort of places around the middle that he could play. Look, great player, Scottish. I don't know why that's relevant, but I'm just throwing it out there. He's a really good player. I get the feeling he wanted to leave in January. That was obvious because I think we'd agreed personal terms with him. Yeah. It's not a huge shock for me that he has let his contract run down, and that the club have allowed him to let his contract run down without sort of making major strides to sort of get him signed into a new contract, because he's already made it clear that he wanted to go. The bizarre thing that I find with football, they wanted money for him. And they pushed and pushed and pushed for the money, so much so that the deal fell through. Since the end of January, he's only played 401 minutes for Rotherham. So there's an argument looking at that going, you should have just taken the money that was being offered and let him come to us at the time.
Cut your nose off to spite your face comes to mind.
You could argue they're just trying to get the best deal for them. you know, as opposed to the best deal for us. We want the best deal for us, they want the best deal for them, you know, and you're both pushing.
And it turns out that they haven't got anything.
And look, nobody got anything. Nobody got anything in the end. We didn't get the player we wanted. They didn't get the money they wanted. And you've now ended up with a player who's sat free. You know, he could get, I don't know where he's going to go. He could go to another championship club potentially, but we were obviously linked with him. He's been a long-term target for us. To me, it sort of feels like somebody that we're going to go after. It's just a little shrug. I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, possibly. He's free. We obviously were interested in January. A lot of time has passed though since January. Things have changed.
It has. Look, we've been here before with Armstrong. You know, we wanted Armstrong in January, and it didn't happen in the summer. Yeah. So look, things change.
Yeah, it's he could already be like in. Sorry, my phone keeps. He could be in already, you know, in talks with the club. You don't know, do you?
Could be in talks with another club. We just don't know. Look, he'd be a good fit. A good fit for us. We've obviously, you know, I always look at the players who've walked out of the door because we've released them. And, you know, if we just pick one from that list, Luke Young, he's a player of that sort of mould, you know, sits in sort of like a defensive position, you know, can get the ball moving forward. Very good player. You know, if Luke's leaving, you know, you're sort of looking at someone to come in to sit in that sort of spot. Yeah, so and yeah. I think it'd be a really good signing. He's played in the Championship last season, so he's played at a higher level. He's been at Rotherham for 5 years as well, so he's played for Rotherham in the Championship and in League One. So he's got pedigree, he's got experience in League One and the Championship if we were to kick on again. So yeah, for me, it's a really good signing.
The second one is Ben Wilson, who is currently a goalkeeper for Coventry City, but he's not the first goalkeeper.
He's not the first choice, no.
He's second choice. So yeah, his contract is up again, like Jamie Lindsay. And you know, like you've put here, who doesn't love a free player?
Who doesn't love a player for free?
Who doesn't love a free player?
You know, if you've got, you know, if there's a decent player out there, we're looking for a goalkeeper, obviously. Look, he's Championship quality. I think you could argue.
I did a post
about
this transfer rumour, and I was so chuffed because I got it on there before anybody else. So yes, we have had so many views on our Twitter with this post. I think it was like 42,000 in total.
Yeah.
42,000 views, which was like, whoa, I think that's like the most our posts ever got. So we had a few comments, and I will read the first one. First of all, he is 31.
Yeah.
He's 31 and he's played over 100 games in 5 years. I was going to say 1,000.
You were going to say 1,000.
I was going to say 1,000.
Yeah.
So there's been some mixed reviews about this guy.
And just another thing, he was Coventry's number one up until November, but then he lost his place to Bradley Collins as well. So it's not like... I think when we talked about goalkeepers in sort of previous weeks, we talked about Danny Ward, who is very much a sitting on the bench sort of goalkeeper and has been for the last year, apart from the odd game here or there. We also talked about Chris Maxwell, same sort of feel, you know, where he very much sits on the bench sort of player. But Ben Wilson, you could argue similar, but he was the first choice up until November when he lost his place. And then he's been exactly the same thing, sitting on the bench for the remainder of the season. So, sorry, go on.
So, first comment that we had was from the Sky Blue Hub, which I think is a Coventry person.
It is indeed.
He told everyone at Coventry Awards night he was off. He's had a great season in 22-23. Good character. Think he'll fit well in Wrexham.
Wrexham FC Tampa. I'm sure there's a few very good goalkeepers from the Championship who don't start every match, who would want to join the hottest club in League One. I suppose that's a point, isn't it? You know, it depends what you want. And we have said this before. What do you want from a goalkeeper? Do you want a Championship level goalkeeper, but who's sitting on the bench week in, week out? Or do you want a League One quality goalkeeper who's playing every week?
Yeah. Well, we want Arthur Okonkwo, but...
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Gwersel Avenue, rather have the Derby keeper who's been released after promotion and won the Golden Glove in League One. I believe Ben Wilson also won a Golden Glove, but I'm not sure what season.
Couple of seasons ago that was.
Okay,
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Tom Hankey, he'll be brilliant on Disney Plus. Really great character who gets on with everyone and loves a joke. League One probably his level, no disrespect to him, and I reckon he'll be a good signing for you if it's true.
Gilby, be a great signing for you and is a top guy as well.
Twist and Shout, who's a Coventry fan, it would be the perfect fit. He would be excellent in League One, and his personality would make him very popular on your Disney documentary. They're all about now, a bloody Disney documentary.
Yeah. Probably Kelvin Sorbo has just put one word and a question mark. Okonkwo.
Okonkwo?
We don't know.
Okonkwo? We don't know.
We don't know.
We really don't know. We don't know how that's going to go. I think the longer it goes on, the less likely it is to happen. Let's just put it like that. I think if it was going to happen, I would guess it might have happened already. Although, having said that, just to backtrack, his contract hasn't officially run out at Arsenal either. So it probably
is it end of June.
Even though I did just say what I just said, the actual truth of it is it wouldn't probably be announced now anyway because he hasn't actually run out of contract yet. So, and there's a whole thing with compensation, and we don't have to let his contract run out because we'd have to just agree the compensation package because he was a youth player. Whether he's in contract, out of contract, we still have to pay that. So, who knows? Let's move on.
We just don't know. If you do want to get in touch with us, thank you for all your messages, and we do try to answer all of them, but we may not obviously read them on the podcast. But if you do want to get in touch, you can get in touch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and email us at methewifeandwrexamafc@gmail.com. I forgot where I was going then. I sort of lost track.
Look, 2 documentaries this week. We had Clwb, which is on S4C. It was the 3rd and final episode of that one. We made small little cameos on that one. It was very nice. I've enjoyed that documentary, even though it's only 3 episodes. I have enjoyed that as a nice little
concise.
Yes,
and
it has. There was a few us singing in the crowd were on there.
Yeah.
Me crying on the pitch that was there on the Forest Green game. You'd roll your eyes at me. And then
I mean, if that didn't get in, it would have been sacrilege.
Yeah, it would have.
You crying on the pitch.
Yeah, I know. And then a little interview with us outside the Forest Green game as well.
Can I just say that the TV does add about £10. I watched myself on that documentary and I was like, OMG, what is going on?
Get the lettuce.
Yeah, get the celery out. I'm going on a diet. It's not great, but it was really lovely to be on that. And thank you so much to everybody at S4C and Wild Flame Productions. Honestly, Irilas messaged me. If I said that right, Irilas. She messaged me and said it's the last episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. We've really enjoyed having you be. We've really enjoyed having you be a part of it. And I basically just said, I cannot believe, and now obviously being part of something like this, how many hours that these guys film, and they have to condense it down into, basically 3 hours of a documentary. So kudos to all you documentary makers.
Yes.
You are
well done.
Just amazing, and thank you for having us on there.
It's been fantastic. We all obviously had the Welcome to Wrexham, episode 5 of Welcome to Wrexham this week.
Yeah.
We had Arthur Massey. Who doesn't love a bit of Arthur Massey on the TV?
Who just so happens to be the ex-Red legend, Lee Jones's granddad.
Yeah, who's been on the show. Lee's been on the show, and he's Lee's granddad. We know Lee really well, and it's you're just laughing. And it's nice to see fans like that. He was talking about going to his first game. I can't remember the date. It was like 1931.
1931. He was 7.
Yeah, went to his first game. There was no stands, anything. And I think if anyone has seen
everything.
Literally everything. Has seen changes in the club, seen stands being built, seen the club evolve. I mean, this is the guy, you know, he's just an absolute legend.
Love him. And he loves a brandy.
He loves it. That's the secret to long life,
Secret
apparently.
to long life, yeah, brandy.
I'm more of a whiskey drinker, but I might have to switch.
Yeah.
So,
just amazing. And Rob obviously went round to see him, to obviously wish him happy 100th birthday. He came on the pitch.
He had his 100-second applause.
It was just so I can't think of the word. It was just done so well. The way that they put that together was just amazing. And we think you're an amazing guy, Arthur. And yeah, we can't wait to celebrate your 101 birthday.
101?
Yeah.
101th. What?
101st?
Yeah. 101th. I don't even know what that is. What am I talking about? Can I edit that out?
No.
Hopefully, we've got some of the same issues that we had last week where the sound dips out and they didn't hear me say that.
You heard Ryan say 101. It's 101st.
Anyway, we had obviously JJ and Chloe on as well. Story of their baby.
Jude is just the cutest little baby.
I know, yeah, and that was really nice. They do it really well. I think they're touching stories, and you know, it's strange, isn't it? Because you see the little things like him playing a game, and obviously being worried about where his wife is and why his family isn't there. And then he went out and scored and then got taken off as a sub, and Parky's like, your dad's outside, your missus. And it feels, I tell you what, it's sometimes watching bits like this in the documentary makes you feel a bit weird.
A bit intrusive.
Like you're intruding on people's lives. And I know that's what a documentary is. You get an insight into the people behind the club. And I get that, but sometimes it just feels like you're poking your nose in people's private life. A little bit.
Fair though, this documentary, it's raised awareness for autism. It's raised awareness for obviously premature babies and intensive care units for children. It's raised so many. Awareness.
Well, the mental health
exactly
support that we had with Andy's Man Club, and then obviously with Oliver, the photographer.
Yes.
And his stories.
Yep.
I just think it raises some really good issues. This episode had a really positive sort of reaction online.
Absolutely, yeah. And one of the best I think it's been so far.
Yeah. I probably agree. Sometimes I have to watch them more than once because I think they hit you with quite a bit of stuff. Yeah. It was very much, I think it was called Temporary, this one, wasn't it?
It was.
And I loved the whole temporary theme where they tied in Arthur was talking about temporary, and then, JJ mentioned something about temporary. The temporary stand was in there.
He scored the first goal in the front of the
temporary stand. And then it all ties in together, and it was just done so beautifully, I think.
Yeah.
And it was,
talking of JJ, they have... They've set up a GoFundMe page for Spoons, which I believe is like a...
not Weatherspoons.
No, not Weatherspoons. I think it's a charity that helps with parents who have got premature babies. And it kind of hit me. I mean, I wasn't around at this point, but my brother was actually born 2 months premature.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure what that is, gestation. It's about 28 weeks, is it something like that? I don't know. But he was born 2 months early. And we obviously had a premature baby as well, but we were very lucky he was okay. But my brother was in intensive care for a long time. So I look at my brother, when I hear stories like this, I look at my brother and go, obviously my brother was born in 1980. So the amount of things that, medical techniques and everything that's come on in those 40 odd years, I just think if my brother can survive something like that, then I it's amazing what the hospital and the NHS can actually do for you. And I think what we'll do is we'll link, that's the word I was looking for. We'll link the GoFundMe page in the description, just so everybody can go and have a look and help support this amazing charity.
So if you're watching on YouTube, the link to that will be down in the description. So please check that out.
If you're listening, then obviously go over to our YouTube channel and have a look and subscribe while you're there.
Yes, do that. We're going to have a look at an opponent.
Well, I'm excited about this one.
So this week we're going to, so one of our opponents next season in League One at Charlton Athletic.
Yay!
So Siân's granddad actually played for Charlton Athletic Reserves.
He did, before the war.
Yeah, he played for 3 years, 1936 to 1939.
He joined when he was 15, I believe, and then obviously he got called up for the war.
Yeah, so he played until 1939, then got called up and went off to war. And then when he came back, he didn't go back to football, did he?
No.
So he had quite a short footballing career, but there's obviously a connection there with Siân and Charlton Athletic. That's why we're really hoping that the Charlton game is one that we can make a trip out of next season and sort of go down and watch that one.
Get some historical, look at the archives and stuff to see if there's any pictures of him or anything like that, because we haven't got anything like that, and we've searched on the internet and things to try and find something, and I'd love to. I know he didn't play for the first team, so it's not as luxury, whatever, but I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, definitely. So they finished 16th in League One last season on 53 points. They were in the Premier League from 2000 to 2007.
Impressive.
Since that, they spent 7 years in the Championship and 10 years in League One. The last 4 years they've spent in League One, they finished 7th, 13th, 10th, and obviously 16th last season, like I said. Elliot Lee played at Charlton before he came to us.
He did.
He was he was at Luton. He was on loan at Charlton, and then we bought him, and he came to us. Owen O'Connell is another one we actually bought from Charlton. So that's another player that's going to be playing against the last club they played for before they came to us.
They've all done it, haven't they? They've all played their previous clubs in one way or another.
Yeah, so they're based in southeast London. It's in the Greenwich area of London. They were founded in 1905. They play their home games at the Valley, which has a capacity of 27,111. The away allocation is usually around the sort of 3,000 mark, and it's located in the Jimmy Seed stand. It's 214 miles away from us. It's about a 4-hour trip, depending on the traffic on that particular day. As we said, we're praying it's not a Tuesday game.
I'll be devastated.
Yeah, it's definitely on our list, that one, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The nickname is the Addicts.
Not the Addicts.
No, the Addicts.
ADDICKS.
Do you want a nice fun story about why?
Go on then.
So basically, there was a fishmonger called Arthur Bryan, okay, and he used to supply back in the day, way back. He used to supply fish
before health and all that came into football.
Yeah, so they used to supply fish and chips to the players after games.
Yeah,
and that's where the name Addicts come from. Do you know why? Can you work that out? Haddock. So it was haddock and chips. Addicts and chips. With like a Cockney accent.
Yeah.
So that's where haddock turned to addict. And then that's where the Addicts come from.
My granddad was a Cockney.
Yeah. So it's basically a nickname born out of the Cockney sort of accent for the London accent.
Love it.
For haddock, basically.
It.
So that's where that comes from. I thought that was quite a fun story.
Yeah. So their top scorer was Alfie May.
Was linked with us at one point.
He was. Yeah. Yes. He's 23.
He isn't 23. He scored 23 goals.
Oh yeah. That makes more sense.
It does make more sense, yeah.
Last game was in February 9th. The last time we played them, Wrexham played them, was in February 1982. So even before I was born, literally only a couple of months before I was born, when we lost 1-0 at the Valley in Division 2. I don't know. I feel like I have to do a Welsh accent when I say the Valley. The Valley.
That is back when the division names made sense.
Yes.
So Division 2 in 1982 literally meant the second tier of English football. So it was Division 1 was what is now the Premier League. Division 2 was what is now the Championship. Tier 1, Tier 2. So it was really simple back in the day. So that season we got relegated from Division 2, and since that we have never been back to the second tier of British football, English football. The highest we've ever got is the third tier. So where we are next season, that's the highest we've got since 1982. So So yeah, fingers crossed we can push on and get
Yeah.
that. But yeah, so look, as we've said, we're really excited for the Charlton game. Fingers crossed. We are praying that it's not a Tuesday game.
Come on, you fixture gods.
Yes.
Make it a Saturday.
Come on. We can make a nice little trip of it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to visit the Valley when the game's not on as well, wouldn't it? To try and see if we can find something out about the reserves back in the 30s and all that sort of stuff. That'd be nice. Quick shout out for Dragon Chat. So it's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 weekly Zoom calls. One is on a Thursday, 7 p.m. till 8:30, and that is for men. And they also run one on a Monday at 8 p.m, and that is for women. The best thing to do is follow Dragon Chat-Steve Lloyd on Twitter for that one. So it's quiz time.
Quiz time. Excellent.
So,
anyway.
Wayne's World.
Party time.
Have you seen Wayne's World?
Excellent. Yes, I have seen Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2.
Have you?
You're going to say, I know where you're going with this.
Where am I going?
I haven't seen Beetlejuice, everybody.
I found out this week she has never seen Beetlejuice, and I don't know how I feel about that. I think
you don't know me at all.
I'm starting to understand that I just don't know you at all. First it's Lion King, which knocked me for 6. And then this week, we were talking about Beetlejuice 2 coming out. Siân went, I've never seen Beetlejuice.
I might have seen it. It might have been too scary for me. With a stripy suit and the big hair.
Whatever. Anyway.
And no, I'm not watching it before anybody messages in and says that I have to watch it.
Look, if you think she should watch it, I think you should watch it. Yeah.
All right.
Michael Keaton, all that. He's great in it. Oh,
Isn't he like naughty now? Has he done something like really bad?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Well, he's in Beetlejuice too. So.
Oh, maybe it's Michael Sheen. I'm thinking of Michael Sheen, Charlie Sheen. I'm thinking.
Wow, so you've gone Michael Keaton to Michael Sheen to Charlie Sheen.
Is it Michael Sheen, the Welsh guy?
Yes.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
Michael Keaton, Michael Sheen, Charlie Sheen. Oh yeah, so you've gone Michael Keaton to Charlie Sheen, and you thought they were the same person.
No, I didn't think they. Yeah. Anyway, quiz
Let's move
time.
on. Look,
yeah, let's edit that bit out.
Look, you asked for it, so you're getting it. Okay?
Oh no! Why didn't I revise?
Because I knew when you brought it up last week, I thought she's not going to look at it. She's not going to revise it. So she asked for it. So I'm giving it to her.
Are you doing the exact same one as episode?
I am not.
Okay.
So we're going to do squad numbers. Okay? Because that's what you wanted. Okay?
Yes.
I am going to give you the number.
Yes.
You need to tell me the player. Is this just a big song and dance, but you have revised?
I've not revised.
I knew you wouldn't.
I haven't revised since I don't think I've ever revised.
I knew you wouldn't. That's why I did it. So I threw it in. Are you ready? There are 8 points on offer.
So there's 8 people.
Well done. That is a good start. Yes. You've translated
1
8
point.
points.
1 point.
Okay.
29. Yes. Oh, 29. Ryan Barnett.
Ryan Bennett.
I'm so bad with names. Ryan Barnett.
Correct. I'll do it as well. Okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
12.
Oof.
Was Ben Foster's number till he left?
Luke Bolton.
Luke Bolton. Incorrect. It is George Evans.
Oh, yeah. I know that Jack Marriott is 11.
I'm going to burst your bubble a little bit. I'm not going to put number 9 or number 10 in here.
I know.
You know. But I am going to put number 11.
Jack Marriott.
Number 15.
Oh, Owen O'Connell.
Correct. Well done. I thought you might struggle with that one. Did you hurt yourself?
I
Clicking
just clicked my finger.
Number 23.
Yes. Oh, James McLean.
Correct. I threw that one in there because I wasn't sure how many you'd get. So I thought I better just chuck one in that I know she'll know. But anyway, you got 4 out of 5 so far. You're doing well. 30.
That is James Jones.
Correct. 21.
Oh. Tom O'Connor.
Tom O'Connor.
No.
It's not. Tom O'Connor's 22,
22.
I think. It's Mark Howard, 21. And the last one...
I never see his back of his shirt, though, because he's in the goal.
Last one. 32. It is Max Clwb. You've done pretty well there. 6 out of 8. That's not bad.
It's not bad going.
It's not bad going.
Thank you.
Well done. Look, thanks for joining us this week. It's been a blast, as always.
As always.
As always, we love it.
We don't talk to each other apart from when we do this podcast.
No, we
don't. We don't talk to each other.
Sleep in separate beds, eat in different rooms. We
co-parent from separate rooms.
Yeah, we do. Go and ask your mother. She's upstairs. No,
that's really untrue. We don't.
We don't. Yeah, of course we do. Look,
I love him.
Oh God, I love you too.
Oh, thanks.
Just so we got that on camera, just in case everyone, something happens in the future and they're going, look, see, we knew something was wrong. I've lost my train of thought now. Yes, thank you very much for joining us this week. As always, we really enjoy doing all this. Please join us next week for our 100th episode, which mind blown that it's 100, because it seems to have gone so quick, doesn't it? So please.
100 weeks. That is, isn't it?
It's not, because there are some weeks where we did double episodes. So it's not 100 weeks, but
just 100 episodes.
It's just 100 episodes.
But 100 hours.
Maybe more than that, because some of them are a bit longer. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining. Please join us next week for our 100th episode, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.